Welcome to the first Lifeboat Academy update of 2024. It's January 8th, and we have a bit of a special update today because we're going to be mostly focused on our annual planning process and ways that you can get involved. But before we begin, if this is the first time you're encountering us, we are the Lifeboat Academy. We are a model of resilience and regeneration at the person, place, and community level. And for us, building a lifeboat means building your own personal place-based resilience network, working with the people you already know in your community to build up your resilience in the face of whatever might be coming down the pike. And ultimately, our goal is to create a network of lifeboats, a fleet of lifeboats, all connected and staying in touch to share resources, especially information about what works best. And we're all here today as part of the Lifeboat Academy, and we will start. First of all, we start with the land acknowledgement. We bring the land in. We are scattered among the four winds, as it were, but I am currently on Sidayas, Pender Island, which is part of the traditional lands of the Wasanic people, who are Coast Salish. And we start with the land acknowledgement because we recognize that the land was here before we were, and the land will continue long after we are gone, and that we only exist because of the land and all our relations. And so we acknowledge our obligation of care to all our relations and our debt of gratitude to Indigenous people who have kept that wisdom alive at great cost to themselves individually and culturally. And who are still generous enough to share it with us when we most need it. And so in acknowledging the land, we also acknowledge our debt of obligation to live in right relations with all of our human relations and all of our more than human relations. And we will have a chance to go around and do a quick check-in and what has your attention at the moment. And the circle, as I see it, is Ronnie, April, Roland, and then me. So Ronnie, what has your attention at the moment?
Hi, I'm Ronnie. If anyone doesn't know who I am, my pronouns are they, them. I'm a lifeboat mentor with the Lifeboat Academy, currently based out of so-called Austin, Texas, which are the territories known to many indigenous tribes, including the Coahuiltecan, the Lipan Apache, and the Tonkawa, among others. I'm really excited about this planning process over the next few weeks leading up to the charrette. We already have some folks signed up for our planning sessions, which is really, really great and exciting. And I'm curious to see who gets involved and what we're able to accomplish together. Over to whoever was next. I don't remember.
April.
April.
Thank you. April Struthers. I'm coming to you from the traditional unceded territories of the Siksika Nation, which is on the Sunshine Coast in British Columbia. And I have been involved in developing ideas around lifeboats and community and how to put them together in a way that uses everybody's contributions and everybody's assets, and to work in an increasingly collaborative way, I guess, over time, and understanding what that means and how you do that. It's my pleasure to be part of this core team and to have worked with these folks for some years now in terms of figuring out the focus for this and the process, the most fair process that's based on human rights and an understanding of our relationship to the land, as Ben said. Very excited to be part of the second charrette that is being planned. Happy to say that most of our planning actually happens in the end. So it's never an empty exercise. It's a very rich exercise that pulls us forward. And I'm going to pass on to my colleague Roland now.
My name is Roland Maurice, and I too am on the island known to the Wasanic as Sideus, and on colonial maps is known as South Pender, and have been involved in the development of the Lifeboat Academy. And I am curious today, as one event in my day, which is one event in my life that is flowing out of the holiday season and the lessons that I've learned during that time and how to integrate them and how to understand them in my larger life. And you are all part of it. So back to Ben.
Great. I am Ben Cottle, and part of the Lifeboat Academy from the beginning, since before there was a Lifeboat Academy. And what has my attention at the moment is definitely the planning and the opportunity, possibility of what April was alluding to. How do we weave together our strengths? And really seeing what is possible. We talk a lot about the Lifeboat Academy as an experiment, and I'm starting to think about it as an experiment in what's the best that's possible. If we use our resources and our assets as best we can, what does that look like? And I'm excited to see how that experiment plays out. So the focus of our planning, we have a mantra around here: aim, act, reflect, which is fractal. So we try to aim, act, reflect around our days and our weeks and our seasons and our years. And we find that it is a really useful and effective tool because, as Roland said, it gives us that opportunity of taking the time to actually reflect and gather lessons learned, and to find the 20 that gets us 80, to let go of the stuff that doesn't work so good, and to focus more of our energy on the stuff that seems to work. So the process generally answers 3 main questions. First of all, where are we now? What do we actually, now that we've have a year under our belts here in the Spalding Valley, what resources do we have to work with? Where are we heading? Given our best guess right now, where do we want to go long term? And specifically, how far do we think we can get down that pathway in 2024? Knowing it always takes longer than you think it will. And how do we get there? What do we actually do? Who does what? How does the rubber meet the road? And what we have been working on before the holidays and a little bit over the holidays is we've created a Miro board. And I think I can do this. I wanted to share it just to give people a first glimpse. So if people are familiar with Miro, or aren't familiar with Miro, it's an online whiteboard, which allows us to collaborate in real time in a visual space. And we've thought through our process. We have a whole bunch of activities laid out, and we've even started to pre-populate some of those activities. And we'll talk more about how we'll be using the board as we move forward. So hopefully, let's see if I can get back. Are you seeing the PowerPoint now? Okay. Did you see the Miro board?
We did not.
Oh, all right. Hang on. Let me stop share. I thought it would follow me. There we go. So yeah, this is our Miro board. And as I said, we have it all laid out and waiting for people's input moving forward. So that is something that we'll be inviting people to. We've already started inviting people to, and we'll continue to. So that's one of the big things we've been working on. And of course, in order to put that together, we had to refine the process and think through How do we actually want to engage people in different ways in different parts of the process? And just last night, we sent our first announcement laying out the information that we're covering today and ways that you can get involved. So passing it over to Ronnie to walk us through what's going to happen when.
So our first session will be going over lessons learned from the past year and guiding principles for really the Lifeboat Academy at large, but also the process that we're engaging in together. And that session is going to happen a week from today, Monday, January 15th at 5 p.m. Pacific time via Zoom. We tried to schedule these so that they would be accessible for people on Pacific time all the way to Eastern time. So that's, sorry, it's North America centric, but that's where we are. So yeah, and then the second session will be covering our available resources, the relationships, sort of the map of relationships that are connected to the Lifeboat Academy. And then we'll be looking through the list of our 10-year goals and figuring out together what goals we might want to have for 2024. And that session will be Thursday, January 18th at 5 p.m. Pacific, also via Zoom. And then our third session, we will be connecting our 2024 goals and resources to each of the 4 functional areas of the Lifeboat Academy, and using all of that information to generate requests for proposals, which people can then take beyond that session to write proposals for the 2024 charrette at the end of February. So that session is going to be Monday, January 22nd at 5 p.m. Pacific over Zoom as well. And if you're not able to make any of these sessions, you can still engage with all of the material on the Miro board and follow along. We also might, I guess we'll probably record these sessions and post them so that people can access them that way as well. So there's still ways to stay connected to what we're doing. And then, so after those first 3 sessions, we will have guild action planning sessions for each of the specific functional areas. And those will be from January 29th through February 12th, specific dates and times to be decided, but we will let you know as soon as they are scheduled. And then finally, our 2024 charrette, our second annual charrette, will be February 16th through 18th, both on the farm, on Cedeus or Pender Island, and online via Zoom. So that will be a really great, rich hybrid event for folks to attend. And we're really looking forward to seeing people there. Did I cover it? Okay.
Seems covered to me. So over to Roland to talk a little bit about ways to stay engaged beyond the Zoom meetings.
Well, as Ben already has gone over the Miro board a little bit, that image that you saw is very interactive. So you can zoom in to specific areas, and so there's everything that you need that's already there. Can you go over to the next one? So if you can't make it to a session, this is how you can continue to engage.
Excuse me.
And there's also always email as another option. And so when you engage with Miro, it can look a bit daunting, but there's actually a track that talks you through the process of using it that we will have available. So all of your questions on how to use it, or just follow the talk track and it should guide you through it. And we'll also be providing our weekly emails as usual that will have updates and announcements for when the next rounds are coming up, so that they will come as reminders, as well as ways of keeping track with where things are. So we, on top of that, we also have our usual office hours that are included in our weekly emails. So over to Ben, I believe.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. So ways to stay informed. If you haven't yet signed up for our email list, you should, because those weekly emails will keep you on track, provide you a summary of what's been going on and how to get involved in the next step. As Roland said, emails are always welcome. So if you know you want to be involved, for example, in one of the guilds, one of the functional areas, let us know. If you are curious about the process and have any questions, let us know. We'd love to answer those questions. This week, our focus will be on adding some of the summary information that we've gathered about, as April said, we don't just make plans, we actually enact them. And so providing some results on what we actually got up to this year and what some of the results were. We'll be adding that to the Miro board. We'll also be doing more outreach, letting people know about the opportunities for getting engaged. And we will be doing our New Year reconnection with partners. We took a little bit of a hiatus. Wasn't very long, but it seems like a long time ago before the holidays started. So it's time to do that kind of dusting off the new year and reconnecting with people, reaching out and making sure that we're keeping people in the loop. And of course, office hours. We're going on a sort of modified office hours schedule for this early part of the year. So we'll be doing this time Monday, 10:30 Pacific time. Check me if I'm wrong. Then 10 o'clock Tuesday and Thursday morning. And all of the office hours are 90 minutes to 2 hours, depending. And so we're always available during that time. And
there's just, if anyone's trying to sign up for Tuesday office hours, there's just a little scheduling glitch in Calendly right now, so the time's not showing up. But I want to address that today. So just keep trying, keep checking Calendly, and we'll get that fixed so that you can sign up.
Well, I can probably fix that pretty quick, I think. Great.
I also wanted to add, in terms of emails are always welcome, and just a reminder that there's a lot going on, so we may not respond that day. If there's no response in a week, send us a reminder email.
Yes. Oh, and let's just do once around for final thoughts. Anything else that you want to cover? Ronnie, over to you.
I just hope to see as many folks as are interested engaging in this planning process. It's a really great way to actually get to experience how we work together and learn some tools and practices that you could actually take out into the world with you in other communities that you're part of. So there's a lot on offer here besides you giving us input. There's also a lot that you can take with you that will enrich things that you're doing. So I'm emphasizing the opportunity for mutual benefit here. So please take advantage of that if you're available. Over to April.
You're muted, April.
I just want to say that the charrette, the annual charrette, of which this is the second one, is kind of the heart, the summary of stuff for a whole year. And that it really, what this is all about really comes to life with that occasion. And the learning from it is profound, but the connection that comes of it and the ways that it incubates ideas, not only for us, but for everybody around us, it's quite a marvelous way of pulling together, coming together, and then spinning stuff out again. The sessions that lead up to it are really the details that fill in the blanks for how it all works. And there's lots of opportunity to be involved, as you've seen, before, during, and after the charrette experience. And on to Roland.
Thanks, April. What comes to mind for me is a saying that we often use here, building the lifeboat is the lifeboat. So it's a little bringing together what Ronnie and April were talking about, that you participating in is part of building this lifeboat, but it's also part of building your own lifeboat. Not just the actual bringing things together, but having a process in which to be able to do it more smoothly. And that's what we are trying to exemplify. That's what we are practicing. That's what we're learning, and that's what we are wanting to share. So back to Ben.
I definitely ditto to everything that's been said, and I want to add the other mutual benefit is we have the good fortune at sitting in the middle of a network of really cool people, really interesting, diverse, fascinating people. And so probably the main benefit of coming to any of these sessions is just to rub shoulders with other interesting people who are all thinking about different aspects of the same challenge. You know, we're all in the same boat together, and it's really amazing and fun and interesting and informative to just spend time with the people that we get to spend time with. So I think that's part of the mutual. Yes, you learn some skills, and yes, you can take some practical processes back to your home communities, but you also can just meet some cool and interesting people and have fun. So highly encouraged. I think that's it for our update. Unless everyone good to go. All right. Well, we will get this posted as soon as we can, and you see all the different ways that you can get in touch and stay in touch, and we look forward to seeing you at the different sessions coming forward. Bye. Okay.